Okay, family. I know it's quite late, and right now I'm on Central Time, and it's 1:01 a.m. where I'm at. But however, this is something I really want to address, and it's kind of a rant video, but it's talking about what's going on with the coronavirus pandemic, and how it's impacting Black Americans more than any other group of ethnicity in this country right now. And I just want to say this to those of you, especially to fellow dark-skinned descendants of slaves born in America. You know, I'm looking at how so-called black leadership in this country is responding to this crisis. And, you know, with all the warning signs that this platform, you know, gave out, you know, over the past 2 some years, you know, to help bring Black America to reality, to see that we need somewhere of our own to where we can, quarantine ourselves without, being under any other, special circumstances like this, where we could create a more protective environment for us and our, later generations to come behind us. And now here we go with this coronavirus thing. And now we're the most affected by it, just like with any other crisis that takes place in this country. And I'm talking about major crisis. We always seem to be the most affected by it. First of all, because of course, which the media acknowledges, and which they have no choice to acknowledge because it's the flat out straight truth, that because of poor, health access and resources to better health access, and also because of lack of opportunity due to inequality and racism and gerrymandering and stuff like that, is why we have become more dangerously susceptible to this virus pandemic than any other group in this country. And I must say that I well, first of all, let me retract back. I'm your soul brother Talib, and you better know me as also being on the Reality Temple platform with brother Angel Snup 7, who is the main host of this platform as well, and well as the platform on our other channel that we got called Operation Exodus Mississippi. And but however, I just want you to know that I am concerned because this is a deadly disease, and it is, killing a lot of us, as well as those of us who are not, descendants of slaves. I mean, this virus don't discriminate against anyone, and that's a known fact. Okay, that's clear cut. But the fact that it's affecting, you know, African Americans right now at this point more than anybody else, because of the conditions that we have been, you know, subjected to all our lives as a group of people in this country. And now it's coming to a boiling head that, this is clearly being exposed. Like, look, we were so-calledly free from slavery, but look, stuff still ain't changed. And this is just definitely one clear indication of it, So, this is why we are, in the predicament that we are in. But yet, like I said before, at the start of this video, that, we had signs thrown at us, including even from this platform, to warn us that we need to, unite and come together and do something about our situation and plight, instead of waiting on others to come and do something about it, which ain't gonna happen apparently. And if it ain't happened, in over the 400 years we've been, slave captives in this country, what make you think it's gonna happen now? You see, so I mean, this is very apparent, and but at the same time, I must say, in the midst of all this going on, is that I must say that I've almost given up on black people. I was just having a conversation the other day with someone, about this, and the reason I say that, because, although I'm always there to want better for my people, for us all as a people, but however, the feeling is constantly growing stronger that, what's the use in even worrying about a people that don't want to better their own condition, that want to remain in a slave-like condition, for even the next generations to come, if it's even another generation, of us to exist, the way things is going in this world, and as well as, of course, in this country. And so, my thing is this, is that I've come to that point, like I said, that I'm just about at the wits of giving up on black people. We don't want nothing better. We complain. Even if a crisis like this or worse comes up, we complain about how the government ain't reaching out to help us to combat this situation, But it's not their job to do that. They've already proven to you. And then you got to that it's not their job to do that. I mean, just think back to when the inception of this nation began, which was also on the foundation of slavery. That should clearly let you know that this same government, which definitely, implemented slavery into its system of things, which still trickle down through its system to this day, which its laws was based off of, and the political, foundation of it was based off of as well. And upon, you know, this country built or being built by our ancestors should tell you something clearly, that they have made it clearly a point that it's not their job to help pull us out this situation that we're in. We have to pull ourselves out this situation. And since we don't want to do that, since we want to depend on the government, that's not going to do it. Since we want to look for other avenues of ways, which is not realistic and that don't make sense for us, that's going to try to get us up out this situation that we're in, we're going to just keep remaining in this situation as it looks. So, I've come to the point that, hey, you couldn't even, take advice when we, laid out a simple proposal with the Operation Exodus Mississippi campaign. You took it as a joke. Many of you laughed at it and said it ain't nothing but a farce. It's not real, it's fake. But it's something that's never been tried. And before you even decided to try it, you was criticizing the ideal and everything. And even, criticizing the authors of the ideal. And it's bigger than the authors of the ideal, just to make that point clear. But the fact of it was, since you happen to criticize the authors of the ideal, it made it even more difficult to get across through to those of you in black YouTube land and social media to see that this could work if we come and unite together on a common cause. But you didn't choose to do that. And this is why this ideal fell on many deaf ears. And now, and in part with this ideal, we was warning you all along that anything is subject to happen in this nation, where we wouldn't have no choice but to come together to do something for ourselves, for the betterment of ourselves and our future generations, for once and for all. Where we could be free for once and for all, something we've never known as a people here in America, being black. You see, so this is the thing, where y'all just totally ignored something that could actually work if we put our minds collectively together and put all the, the vision to the side in order to make this happen. But yet we continue to bicker and fight one another over social media about this ideal. Disloyalty got in the way. Distrust grew more in the way of this process, So like I said before, at the end of the day, we are in a situation where we can't blame nobody but ourselves. We could keep blaming our nearly 500-year-old oppressor, for why we in this condition. But at the end of the day, they've shown us that they don't intend to help us in any kind of way to effectively come out of our bondage situation, which goes along with all the suffering and stuff, including what our people are experiencing during this coronavirus pandemic, and stuff like that. So, We keep ignoring all signs that can, be of a real benefit to us, and this is what we get because of our, arrogance and refusal to heed to the signs when the right signs is brought to us. So, when I, scroll up and down online and I see all these statistics and all this other stuff going on, even in the news, about black people, becoming more affected than anybody else by this coronavirus pandemic, I just say to myself, well, hey, they can't blame it on nobody but themselves. And that's just that simple. We cannot blame this on no one else but ourselves as a group. We can't. We have choices. And we have more access and resources than our ancestors did to turn this thing all the way around. And what's so much, sad about it is that our ancestors who did not have really much or nothing, of course, because of their condition that they was in, they still managed to stick together more than we do today in 2020 here in America as their descendants. And that's bad. That's bad. I'm really saying it. It's bad. And it's a sad situation. It's a sad state of affairs. And, we're, looking to remain at the bottom totem pole of every other group of people in this country and on this planet Earth until we probably do go extinct. Like we've been saying from this platform all along, because we choose not to do anything that's going to really effectively cause our condition to change that will make us a free people. Because as it stands, of course, and which the evidence clearly, surely supports that we're not a free people, especially as we think we are, And I mean, you can't even walk down the streets, let alone worrying about getting, sick from the coronavirus or dying from the coronavirus. You can't even walk down the streets without worrying about dying at the hands of some racist, Peckerwood cop who ready to blow your head off because he see a N word. You know what I'm saying? Or because she see a N word. And I mean, that's just the reality of it. So we got much more than just the coronavirus to worry about, especially being black in America. But I'm not minimizing the seriousness of this pandemic, but it's just the reality. It all comes together in one whole nutshell. That hey, we've been experiencing worse even before this pandemic got here. But it's only helping to expose more of where our dilemma really sits at. Because the government knows where our predicament stands at. And they have the resources, of course, to do something about it. But they're showing you, as they've been showing you over the past 400 years, that they not going to do nothing about it. And we got to remember, this nation was always, set up, not to give the so-called American Negro any room to grow or to progress, especially when it comes to being on the equal level playing field with its over 400-year oppressor, you see. So, I mean, this is the reality of the whole situation. And this is, what we could see right now, even through this situation with the pandemic, that this is furthermore being exposed. I mean, hey, we seeing it in live living color. Like, look, they totally ignoring us. you know, it's even now where, like this black state New York State Attorney General has even come out with a proposal, or rather plan, to help protect Asian Americans that's being racially attacked, under the auspices or accusations that they are the reason why this pandemic is going on, because of where it started at, which was in Asia. Okay. Which no one has no, sufficient facts to use to back up this such claim, but the thing about it is that they've come up with a hotline number. I'm talking about the New York State Attorney General, once again, has come up with a hotline number to call and report any hate crimes that's been committed against an Asian American because of this pandemic. But what about hotline crisis number for all the blacks that's constantly been racially profiled, shot down like dogs, beat down like dogs by these racists in the streets of America, which is continually going on, or being brutalized by the police in the streets across America. This unjustful mass incarceration of black people. This unjustful, proportionate, overpopulated, black inmate population that's on death row in prisons throughout America, state and federal. You know what I'm saying? What about a hotline number for that? Job discrimination, housing discrimination, gerrymandering, unequal discrimination when it comes to, adequate education. You know what I'm saying? What about a 1-800 hotline number for that when it comes to black Americans? But then you always want to get together and get on the bandwagon to do something to help protect another group of people, especially another group of people who don't care nothing about you. And we know the relationship between blacks and Asians in this country. I don't care if they Chinese, Korean, or whatever, We know the historical and present situation going on between blacks and Asians in this country. And that's all I'm going to say for that. And then here it is, now these black leaders who complaining about, like Jesse Jackson and these other Reverend Pork Chop, Negro leaders complaining about, the disproportionate unfair treatment blacks is receiving during the coronavirus pandemic, okay? And then including Hispanics in the spear things as well with this, talking about they being, discriminated against, of course, because of this as well. Well, listen, the Hispanics could speak for themselves. They could stand up for themselves like they've been doing. Our concern should not be about the Hispanics or the Asians or any other group of people who may not be Caucasians in this country, because they all got one thing in common with the races, and that's to keep the so-called American Negro in his place. Always remember that. Always remember that. I don't even care if they black coming from other foreign lands, like foreign lands in the Caribbean or in Africa even, as of that matter. When they come over here as immigrants, one of the stipulations for them to be able to stay in America is to help keep their feet on the so-called American Negro's neck, and to keep the so-called American Negro in his place, and to treat the so-called American Negro like a nigger before they end up becoming the first-class niggas. And that's what that boils down to. And that is the reality of the whole situation. So like I said before, we could sit up here, and try to, play this game like, we all in this together, especially because we are dark skinned or we look similar alike to each other because of being so-called black and brown or whatever. But at the end of the day, trust me, the other groups of people who are counted alone as being a minority in this country do not give a damn about so-called African Americans who are born descendants of slaves that are born in this country called America. And always remember that. That is the reality that we are faced with. They got here to this country based on that stipulation, not to even, cohabitate with us, nor to, unite with us on anything that could, turn things around for real in this country, far as dark-skinned people are concerned. So basically, in order for them to keep from being the next niggas, their job is to help keep us in our place. And that's what's exactly going on now. Look how how black employees is getting fired around the country and being replaced with these immigrants. And I'm talking about undocumented immigrants as well, coming from out of Central America and Mexico, places like that. They giving our jobs over to them. They giving jobs that black people have held to them, just firing them, mysteriously just laying them off or whatever and replacing them with them undocumented immigrants. This is going on right now. Why you people want to defend these other groups of people or include them with us in our struggle, when our struggle and they struggle is not even the same, So, this is the reality of the whole situation. And then we got to forget, their ancestors was not in slavery for over 300 years, suffering the brutality that they suffered during that period of our history as a group of people in this country. You know, their ancestors wasn't lynched. You know, their ancestors, you know what I'm saying, didn't have to suffer, sitting in the back of public transportation buses because of the color of their skin. You know, their ancestors wasn't up under black code laws, which created another form of slavery in this country right after chattel slavery had ended. You know, so I mean, this is the thing we got to look at. Our struggle is not the same as theirs, and trust me, when they got something going on in this country or abroad, wherever they come from, they definitely don't include us as being a part of their struggle, let alone as being a part of their family. And that's just the reality of this whole situation. So you wonder why blacks is going through what we going through right now as a group of people in this country? It goes back to all of what I just mentioned in one whole nutshell in this video and what I've talked about in other previous videos prior to this one, So, I mean, we got to wake up, and if we don't, then that's just on us, and like I said before, I have, unfortunately, I have almost given up on black people in this country. I really have. I've almost given up on blacks in this country. And to be truthful, like I said before, I was going to take a sabbatical, and I am sort of taking one, but I just thought that I would, come and, share where I'm at with this situation, of course. But, I mean, this here is, it's definitely a catastrophe. We could see all throughout this whole country that things is coming to a boiling point. And even with the fact that, the white Caucasian population of this country is even becoming more disenchanted and unsatisfied with their own government, and stuff like that in this country. And so you see, if things is getting bad for them, of course, which they're finally starting to realize from seeing what black people have been going through for over the past 400 years, then and what even brown people have went through in this country as well, but more so us, because we are, the direct descendants of slaves born in this country. You know what I'm saying? And we, of course, have always gotten the worst end of it than anyone else has. So, I mean, it's no denying that. But the thing is that if they're getting what they're getting, what do you think that the government or white racist establishment of this country, think about us as black people even during this time of crisis? As far as they concerned, more of us is better off dead than anything else. We got to remember that. And that's just the reality of it. We have to remember that. Unless we, come to a realization by doing something about our situation to turn this thing around for once and for all, then, like I said before, we might as well, face, extinction or extermination, which comes along with the concentration camps and the mass graves. It really don't, I won't lose no tears over it. I tell you that. I definitely won't lose no tears over it because I know that I know the situation of what's going on as far as us as a people who refuse to heed real true advice on what we should do about our situation as a whole, far as us being a group of people in this country. So, like I said, we're going to keep getting what we get, and it's just that simple. And however it ends, that's on us. I'm not going to, keep on pampering or babying, especially a bunch of grown folks that should know and that even know what time it is, but ain't willing to step to the plate to do nothing about their situation in regards to us as being a group of people in this country. So, like I said before, I mean, far as I'm concerned, truthfully speaking, I'm better off dead anyway. Well, I won't even have to deal with this crap. Of course, I'm not going to rush to die. But of course, if it happens, it happens. Even if it's because of this pandemic. If it happens, it happens. At least I won't have to be here to put up with this crap going on in this miserable cesspool. And I mean, behind that statement, I know some of you may refute it or have a rebuttal for it, but I don't care. I mean, it's better off being dead than existing amongst the living anyway in this cesspool. You see what's going on around you all over this cesspool, as well as even throughout the whole planet. I mean, and you don't want to do nothing to change your condition for the better or even for the better of all humanity. So, hey, I mean, one may as well be better off than to keep suffering, like they would say about a person that's suffering from some type of health ailment until they finally just die off. It's the same principle, basically. So like I said before, I know I'm rambling on, but hey, I just wanted to just throw that out there and let you know that, hey, it might be at a point where it's too late for us as black people to get our stuff together. It may be too late for us anyway, but as we keep on waking up every day, we still got a chance, but then again, it may be too late. And with that, I've said all I got to say. And with that, I'm going to pass on and end this video. And with that said, peace.